नमस्ते दोस्तों, मिर्ची रफ्तार से मैं अश्निल सिंह। शामिल हो जाइए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे फ्रॉम 3 to 7 PM।
Nimbula, methangu nimilote na isoro tambua. Nama kia uminarua kinaona na veka vimuniti kina vakarambuka. Rongo mena vya sana kina vibaga barota kinindre komalolo. Ena radio Fiji wan na wongani vya niano. Ngai nama kia kina.
In the news tonight, concern arises on the use of some cheap generic drugs sold in Fiji. Nandi and Singatoka Town Council bosses terminated. And EU says more funds will be available for Fiji once it returns to full democracy. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and you're watching FBC News. A pharmacy consultant has questioned the use of some cheap generic drugs sold in Fiji. HealthPoint Pharmacy's consultant Abe Nan says most generic drugs approved for use here aren't available in developed countries, which, according to him, poses a lot of questions. But as Roland Karoy reports, these claims have been strongly refuted by the Fiji Pharmaceutical Society.
According to Abe Nand, most generic drugs sold locally need more testing.
It is not available in Australia, it is not available in New Zealand. Right. Why is it available in Fiji? Well, we become an easy target for them, I suppose, to dispose untested or medicines that are coming in here. It's good to get cheap medicines, but if some of these developed countries are not using it, why are we using it?
Nand says the public responds well to cheap medicine, but insists that proper checks must be done.
It's cheap, they're taking it, right? At the same time, if you ask me would I personally use it, I'd say no.
Why?
Because as I mentioned, these drugs, I believe, has to go through some testing methods, regulatory methods, whereby it can be proved that it is these generics are good generics.
In response, the Fiji Pharmaceutical Society says no drug is brought into the country unless it is known to be safe.
Yeah, because if the drug says BP after the name or USP, that means it is of United States or British Pharmacopoeia standard, and that is a very high standard that is mostly used by most developed countries.
These are the ones that we've been using.
The Fiji Pharmaceutical Society maintains that generic drugs are safe and does the same job as originators. It goes on to say that the public has the freedom to choose between generic and originators, and if ever there needs to be any clarification, they can contact any pharmacist. Roland Karoy, FBC News.
Nandi and Singatoka Town Council Special Administrator Aisea Tuinraki and Chief Executive Nemia Tangi have been terminated. Tuinraki was told of his dismissal last night, while Tangi was told by FICAC to leave his office at midday yesterday. Both face allegations of corruption and are under investigation, with the government appointing Praveen Bala as interim administrator in Nandi and businessman Jay White as the new Singatoka Special Administrator. Attorney General Said Qayyum says, while charges are yet to be laid, the government is extremely concerned that both men declined to fully cooperate with FICAC. Said Qayyum says this is not the standard of local government officials and was left with no choice but to terminate them. Both Tuinraki and Tangi have declined to comment on the allegations leveled against them. Tuinraki has been the special administrator for Nandi and Singatoka since 2009, while Tangi was appointed CEO last year. The European Union says more development funds will be available for Fiji once it returns to full constitutional democracy. The head of the EU Pacific delegation, Andrew Jacobs, says they've been a long-term development partner to Fiji, providing real benefits for the country, and will continue to do so. Eleanor Tarangai View has more.
Since 2007, the European Union has modified and in some cases limited development cooperation with Fiji. Today, the EU says they're willing to continue the relationship.
While we look forward to a return to full constitutional democracy and the elections next year, which will enable us to resume full cooperation. Our support cannot be provided directly to the government or to government agencies, but goes through NGOs, through non-governmental organizations like FRIEND, and through regional and international organizations. In this context, I want to confirm the European Union's keenness to provide support to the authorities for the smooth running of the process leading up to the elections that are due to be held by September next year.
And the EU's assistance to Fiji and its people will not stop. Speaking at a FRIEND conference for the GROW program in Mombasa today, he highlighted their commitment to helping Fiji's sugar industry.
The European Union has committed so far 67 million Fijian dollars for Fiji for assistance to the sugarcane industry. And we plan to commit, in other words, to make available an additional 69 million Fijian dollars towards the end of the year, which will make a total of 136 million Fijian dollars.
And it does not end there. The EU's help towards cane farmers include providing seedlings for complementary crops, housing for those with expired leases, and livestock for those involved in animal husbandry, amongst others.
Since 2011, further European Union assistance has been provided through 3 different programs to improve key services to agriculture, to establish alternative livelihoods, and to mitigate against the impact of sugar industry restructuring.
Jacob says the assistance to Fiji will be further expanded and consolidated in the next 5 years. Eleanor Turangai View, FBC News.
2 registered political parties, the Social Democratic Liberal Party and the National Federation Party, will soon reveal the names of their party leaders. Chanel Sivan with the details.
SODELPA will announce the party's leader during their annual general meeting next week.
That's coming on June the 20th. The supreme body is the General Assembly, and people work themselves up from the branches to the constituencies, and perhaps we'll get a good leader through that system. Yeah.
Tambaiwalu also confirms that former Prime Minister Laisan Yangarase is still part of the party.
Yes, he's very much still part of the party, but he's restricted by the provision that about that his legal case. But he's very much. It doesn't stop him from speaking for the party and also campaigning for the party. I don't think there's a decree that has said anyone under those provisions cannot speak on behalf of the party. So yeah, very much.
National Federation Party's Raman Pratap Singh says they have yet to finalize a date for their AGM in which their leader will be announced. He has also indicated he will be vying for the position.
As you know, the AGM will be calling for nominations, so it will be up to the members to file the nominations.
You willing to stand up again as president?
Yes, I will be available.
While there is no formal response by the Fiji Labour Party, they are also expected to choose their president after the passing of their president Chakapethi Koroi in 2011. Now, after the announcements of the leaders, the political parties are expected to start preparations for the elections next year. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
After the break, finding an alternative livelihood, producing coconut products for local markets.
I wake up in the morning, I prefer to go down to the gym, get a bit of physical work done. Also, later on in the day, I decide to go through for meditation. I do a bit of reading to find out what the latest songs are, a bit of research. And for me, it's all about the listeners.
Hey, what's up? I'm Rio, and this is the Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 o'clock to 7, only on Today FM. Today is hit music. What's up?
Isambolo binaka. Na dango wadi soni dalai. Na makio mani wasini ngono borota kina lali ne kabi. Mai na tolu kina bitu. Ena moni tingina por rombuka. Ena mbula FM. Na bandu ena serre.
Welcome back. You're watching FBC News. More than 300 students of Laudala Bay Secondary School took part in the Cadet Pass-Out Parade at the ANZ Stadium car park today. Parade Chief Guest and 3FIR CEO, Lieutenant Colonel Chone Kaloniwai, applauded the performance of the students. Epeli Tokowasa reports.
These Laudala Bay students have completed 12 days of cadet training, a program which is designed to promote unity among students and build up their discipline.
in the presence of your parents and families and your loved ones, you have all shown your adherence to follow command, being precise with your attention to detail and your ability to work together as a team.
They were told to work together to promote unity.
Of our leaders call upon us, every individual, to build a better nation where we can all enjoy a sense of equality and justice.
It was a proud moment for head boy Eroni Mbativunelangi. He was awarded the Badge of Honor.
Cadet brings a lot of change to our schools, and I think it disciplines the students.
More than 200 girls were part of the parade. There were only 110 boys.
At first, it was tough, but then when we got the hang of things, we found it exciting at the end.
I'm happy, but I didn't expect it. But we've worked really hard. I'd say that my hard work is really paid off.
The school has been having cadet training from 2010, and this is the biggest pass out they have had so far. Epeli Tuguasa, FBC News.
Fiji can expect more coconut products to be sold in our local markets. As Mikalonga reports, more than 60 coconut products can be produced locally with quality similar to or better than the imported equivalent.
The 2 months training at the Whole Coconut Processing Center in Mua Tavioni confirmed to organizers that Fiji has the ability to produce coconut products for both the local and international markets.
We use almost everything, all parts of the coconut or the whole nut, the husk, the shell, the meat, the coconut juice.
The 10 trainees were from around the country, 2 of whom are in their 60s. Apart from coconut virgin oil, they also made belts, slippers, body scrubs, coconut meal for farm animals, coconut charcoal soap, among other products.
6,000 coconuts make up a ton, which is $500. But what we experienced from our training was that from only 80 coconuts, when value added, we made $1,200.
My husband and I had left copper farming, but after learning about virgin oil, we will get back to coconut.
Alusio Kumbuai says his village in Vinrala Nakorutumura has 72,000 coconut trees. They usually sell them at 50 cents a dozen to middlemen.
But what I've learned is from one coconut you can reach more than $50. In 2 weeks the shoots came up.
The young man from Lakamba, Lao is already confident of producing 500 liters of virgin oil every month and plans to make other products such as coconut charcoal.
It can be lit up to 3 hours. So that's what I've seen when I'm back in Tabiuni, but we have experimented.
As the saying goes, Winakavoka knew, as good as coconut, every part of a coconut tree has its use and purpose in life. Mikalonga, FBC News.
Joe Kelly, the general manager of the Australian company DamSmart, tasked with digitizing Fiji's archive footage, is in the country. Information Ministry Permanent Secretary Sharon Smith-Johns says Kelly is here to have a look at the reels of footage stored at the National Archives. The Ministry of Information is digitizing the old footage of Fiji's historical events, some of which date back to the 1940s. Smith-Johns visited DamSmart in Australia last week and says work is progressing well to salvage the scenes from the past and put them online for public viewing.
It's quite a lengthy process depending on how bad the film is and the treatment that it has to go through. So some will come off quite quickly, others might take a while for them to get it as good as they possibly can.
Joe Kelly will return to Australia with the old footage in the next few days, where work is expected to begin straight away. That time again, we now join Jamie with sports.
So, you ready for the big game tomorrow?
Well, I've got my cheering voice all set to go.
No pom-poms to go with the voice, Jackie?
No, Jamie, no, I'll leave that one to you.
Well, I'll see what I can do, but before I get carried away, let's return to sports. So the excitement for tomorrow's matchup continues. The Flying Fijians have named their team, while the classic All Blacks say they are here to play top-notch rugby. We'll be back after the break with a look at how preparations are coming. Stay with us.
Hope you're enjoying the music right now on Gold FM. Only the classic hits, especially if you're spending your time at home or around the office. I certainly hope you're taking it easy and enjoying the music coming your way. Well, I got a whole lot more to keep you moving and to keep you going right up until you reach knock-off time. I'm Kara. Join me every weekday from 2 to 7 on The Ride, only on Gold FM.
जहाँ हो प्यार का बसेरा और रिश्तों की खुशबू, वो है आपका अपना घर संसार. Join me on Ghar Sansar, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. only on Radio Fiji 2.
Welcome back. You're watching FBC Sports. Flying Fijians coach Inoke Male has included Masi Matandingo, Napoleon Inalanga, Timothy Nangusa and Seramai Mbai in his starting 15 to take on the classic All Blacks at the NZ Stadium tomorrow. The four make their first appearance for the side this season after having not been available for the first two Pacific Nations Cup matches. There's also a return for veteran wing Cyril Mbombo. While no current New Zealand internationals will be on the side, the classic All Blacks have promised to deliver tomorrow and have one common factor fueling the team's desire to win. Indra Singh finds out what that is.
If anyone thought this is just going to be an exhibition game, then rewind and think again.
Whatever team has a New Zealand brand on it, we take a lot of pride in.
You know, as they say, once you wear that black jersey, competitive comes in.
The Classics are here, and talks about it being one of the biggest matches in the 100-year history of Fiji Rugby Union remains paramount for the players involved. And who better to grace the occasion than two of our very own who have donned the black jumper on numerous occasions.
You know, the coaches this week, they mentioned that it means a lot for myself, City and Rubes. You know, we've played in New Zealand rugby for a long time, and coming back here in Fiji and actually giving something back to our homeland, where we're actually from, is something special for us.
Sivivatu echoes the same sentiments.
Now it's time to give something back to the people of Fiji. And, you know, of course, it's a special occasion. It's 100 years of work in Fiji and something special.
Another top-notch name to be part of the game is someone who all remember for his thunderous tackles and runs during his prime days.
All of us are grateful for the opportunity to get to play in Fiji against Fiji in their centennial year and playing for the classic All Blacks. So we're really excited to be here, and we haven't had much time to get ready for the game, but I'm sure we'll put something together that's worthy of the occasion.
So strap yourselves in and prepare for some of the best rugby action you can catch, because their name might be the classic All Blacks, but they're here to show they are called that for a reason. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
Fiji Rugby's centennial celebrations start with tomorrow's Flying Fijians classic All Blacks match. And it's only normal that hype is building towards the historic encounter. So the FBC Sports team took to the streets to see which team fans are backing to win.
Well, I've bought my Go Fiji t-shirt and I'm betting for Fiji. I'm sure they win. No, I've never been an All Black fan, sorry.
I'm backing for Fiji to win the game tomorrow. Because I reckon because there's so many young guys are there, and also together with the experienced guys.
Definitely Fiji.
Why would that be?
Because it's our home country, home team, and being patriotic. Definitely Fiji.
I know that the whole of Fiji will support our team to win tomorrow.
For sure, Fiji will win the game.
While majority ruled in Fiji's favor, you've got to give credit to the few unwavering classic All Black fans out there who are pretty confident of a win for the visitors.
Because this is their memorable game, and they have to showcase some of the Fijian players, like Joe Rokovoko, Steven Isibibatu, and mostly the Nimbuta.
No, All Blacks, that's my favorite team. Yeah. Well, they're an awesome team. They're the world champ. Unbeatable. Untouchable.
Meanwhile, keen sponsors of Fiji Rugby, Air Pacific, are the reason behind having the classic All Blacks a part of the centennial celebrations. Here's what they had to say.
Rebranding Air Pacific is becoming Fiji Airways on June 27th, and when the Fiji Rugby Union approached us for support in bringing this the classic All Blacks over, we saw it was a fantastic opportunity for us to support the initiative. It'll be a wonderful game, and I know a lot of people are looking forward to it, and so are we.
As we mentioned last night, tickets are selling like hotcakes for the match. But if you're not able to make it to the NZ Stadium tomorrow, don't worry. The game will be shown live on FBCTV at 6 o'clock just for you.
What other game will we ever have, you think about it, where we've got Thau Thau, Rokodoko and Sivivatu? I mean, that alone would make a dream team. And to be playing against Fijians, homegrown Fijians, and it's just going to be amazing. I'm sure the atmosphere will be amazing. But the opportunity that we are providing, not only for the people of Fiji, but for ourselves to be able to do this, is amazing. I mean, I don't think we'll ever get a chance like this again, to be involved in something so important.
Well, kickoff is at 6. Be sure to tune in from 5:30 tomorrow for an exclusive pre-game build-up.
We have some interesting comments made by some very interesting people, and we're just very glad and honored as FBC, as the national broadcaster, to be able to provide yet again another opportunity for the people of Fiji, for the general population of Fiji, to be able to watch this game because, you know, of various reasons that people can't come to the stadium.
The Fiji Rugby Union has signed a partnership with the Fiji Sports Commission to help develop rugby in the country. This deal will see clinics held in various areas throughout the country. Players, coaches, as well as referees are expected to benefit from the program, which will begin next month.
The Sports Commission is working with rugby, and we will certainly be working with Mike and his HPU unit, and with the very, very keen on the development of rugby, and we're going out and doing a lot of working with rugby to go to the villages and take outreach programs, and they start next month. So we'll be going up to Mathawata and the Laua Group.
In local soccer, the Nandi football side last won the Vodafone Fiji Fact in 1996, and they want to change this in 2013. The plus point for the side is that the last win came under the guidance of its current president and also at home, where the final will be played this year. Indra Singh has more.
16 years of heartbreak is associated with the Jacks Nandi football team. And the man who led the side to their one and only fact title is not looking too far ahead.
Any team comes to the first game, it's a very important game for all the team. And like we want to win both the games. All the team will be gunning to win, but definitely we want to win both the games to qualify from Suva that we can play on Saturday in Nandi. So we are not taking the last game as a very important game. We are taking the first two games very important.
Nandi has had a good outing in the league games this season, but there are work-ons which the coaching staff understands fully. This has been the focal point during training for the past fortnight.
The team has been training for the last 2 weeks, and we are having one session, but we started having our sessions two on Saturday and Sunday, and I think so the players are gearing up for the Fiji Fact.
Another factor which Nandi is banking on is the home ground advantage. And why not? Because the win in 1996 did come on their home pitch at Prince Charles Park. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
That wraps up sports for tonight. Remember, if you're not going to be in Laucala tomorrow afternoon to cheer on the Flying Fijians, do it from home. Tune in to FBC TV. That's it from me tonight. Good evening.
Fiji is on track to achieve the 2.7% growth forecasted for this year. Finance Permanent Secretary Filimoni Wangambada says indications for this are positive, however, there are uncertainties. Wangambada says the committee responsible for macroeconomic forecast is currently meeting with the industries and other sectors that contribute to economic growth to know more about their performance. The outcome of these series of talks will be compared with the projections. If there is need for any revision, it will be done now.
We know that natural disasters can derail some of these forecasts moving towards the growth projection that we have announced. So at this stage, we're thankful that nothing like that has happened compared to last year, where we were hit by 2 natural disasters.
Economic growth in 2012 was revised from 2.7% to 2.5% due to the effects of natural disasters. And our lovely weather girl joins us now. There's a big game tomorrow. Jen, please tell us something good.
I know you must be really excited, Jackie, but let's take a look at today's map first. Aside from some cloudy periods and a few showers in Savu-Savu, awesomely fine weather prevailed over the country. I'm sure the students at Lavala Bay Secondary were grateful for the cloudiness though. Less exposure to the sun probably meant less chances of fainting. Time for temperatures now, and Nandi and Lautoka were at 30 degrees today. Lambasa led the way again with 32. Well, it's game time tomorrow evening, and unfortunately, it's also going to be rain time. But don't fret, the weather office has forecast showers and not thunderstorms, so expect a cracker of a match. From a dam in Navor to Nairai Island in Lomai Viti, yes, that's where this photo was taken. A big thank you to Rahul Kumaran for sending it in, much appreciated. Time for me to go, but before I do, best of luck to the Flying Fijians. I know you'll do great.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. And before we leave, our headlines once again. Concern arises on the use of some cheap generic drugs sold in Fiji. Nandi and Singatoka Town Council bosses terminated, and EU says more funds will be available for Fiji once it returns to full democracy. On to our poll question, and we ask, should we have a national ID card? As always, visit www.fbc.com.fj to answer. Remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. That's all for tonight. Good evening.
Mula, I'm DJ Toro. Join me every Monday to Thursday, 7 until midnight. The premium classics on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
सूरज की पहली किरण के साथ दिन की शुरुआत कीजिए। सुबह का मंगल प्रभात आपको शुभ हो। सुबह सुबह हो खुशियों का मेला, ना लोगों की परवाह ना दुनिया का झमेला। पंछियों का संगीत हो और मौसम अलबेला। मुबारक हो आपको ये खूबसूरत सवेरा।
हर सोमवार से लेकर शुक्रवार तक सुबह 6 से लेकर 9 बजे तक शामिल रहें रेडियो फिजी 2 पर हम सफर में रविंद्र सिंह के साथ।